Good afternoon, guys, and happy Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces. I swear, guys, the last 2 days I have been up so early and I feel like I have gotten like significant at least amount of stuff done. Not like a crazy like over the top amount of stuff done, but like yesterday me and Jack finished organizing that stuff that we didn't finish organizing on Sunday. Today I cleaned the bathroom, did dishes, did laundry, edited, uploaded. I also ended up getting my grocery list done for Valley Produce and Caputo's, and I also finished I was working on I finished Menards already. And I was working on pretty much everything else, but like Jewels, I can't finish that until the sales actually go live tomorrow. And with Meyer, I already was working on that. I was probably like halfway through figuring out exactly what I'm gonna wind up getting. So like I said, I feel like again I got like a good amount of stuff actually done for today. But then on top of that, of course, there's also time to spend like not getting to things, right? It's just relaxing and binging on some Netflix because so I think I was telling you guys I was rewatching Stranger Things because I think I've watched the first season maybe twice. I don't know why, but that season just really sticks out to me. Like, and I can remember, honestly though, I feel like I haven't seen it. Like, I think I watched the first season when the first season came out. Then I watched the first season again, I think after the second season had came out also. Like, then I went and rewatched it again whatever year that was that the second season came out. And I want to say that like maybe, because what happened, I think I told you guys, I thought it was only one episode away from finishing the second season, and that's where I stopped. I never saw any of the third season that came out. I want to say that was the summer of the pandemic when we were like in lockdown, which was like 2020, I think is maybe when it came out, because I don't think it was last year. And then the fourth season just came out just recently. And so everybody else is like, oh, like, you know, we're going to watch that fourth season. Like, everybody wants to watch the fourth season together right now. So, like I said, I was watching the second season, and for some reason I thought, like I said, I didn't watch the last episode. It turns out I actually didn't watch the last 3 episodes because I was like, honestly, the second season just seemed not as good as the first season. I guess that was because the most climactic part of it, I mean, sort of, is really in the last like 3 episodes. I don't want to ruin it again for if anybody hasn't seen any of that like me, who just now is watching the end part of the second season, but like, I don't know, I feel like, again, compared to the first season, I just thought it was so cool because like the way the story sort of is told and the story progression of the first one is like, it's sort of all individual. Like, everybody has a little piece to sort of, again, this mystery that's sort of going on, and so all the different sort of groups and parties and stuff like that all have like a little bit of information about, like, and a little piece to this like big puzzle sort of thing. And that doesn't really happen in the second season until, again, sort of the end of like the season, at least that I'm noticing, where like, I don't know, I don't want to say it doesn't happen, but like it's not really, like I said, totally set up the same, and that's what I think made the first season just so good. But it's weird because it has been so long since I watched the first season again, and again, even the half of, you know, a little over half of the first season that I saw, because I think it's only, the second season is the longest one, and it has 9 episodes, so I only watched 6 of them apparently. I don't know why, like I said, I never ended up finishing watching them, but like I don't know, the story, like I said, is just different, but obviously it's because it's also like an established character, so you don't have to do quite as much explaining. But I felt like it was a little bit slow sort of at the beginning, and like now, again, the last like 3 episodes, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Like, and maybe not even that, I don't know. I didn't finish watching the last episode, so what I'm gonna do is take a shower, I'm gonna watch the last episode. I'm assuming that because it's like the last episode, it'll probably be, again, like the best, maybe, hopefully. But like I said, I just vaguely, like, I don't know, I totally thought that like I only had just not seen the final episode of it, and so I was like, that's why like it's just not really good. And like it happens so much later that like all of them wind up like sort of breaking off and going off their own way, versus like you had at the beginning, like with the first season, where like I said, it was sort of like that, where it was like every, you know, there was like the adults and like the kids, and then you sort of have like the teenagers. Like there was sort of 3, I feel like, distinctive parties, maybe a little bit, that all sort of had like little little pieces of what was actually going on to, like, again, unravel the mystery. And with this one, that doesn't really happen almost until like the end. Like, there's really no mystery almost. I feel like that isn't established until quite some time later into like the storyline of the second season. So like I said, I don't know why, but like maybe that was why I stopped watching it. I honestly cannot remember like what year that was as to like why I would have just like randomly stopped watching it and didn't finish it. And again, maybe it was because I wasn't super like hooked on it or something like that. But I remember that we were all trying to watch it together. Like, I know we all watched the first episode of the second season together. And then I think my mom ended up just deciding that she was gonna, like, her and Matthew, I think, stayed up and just finished watching the entire thing. But my dad had to go to bed because I think he had work, because I think it came out like on a Wednesday or something, you know, weird. And so he, like I said, like went to bed, and he was like, I'm not gonna, you know, be able to finish watching the whole thing, like binge it. And I think I said the same thing too. So then again, I watched, I think, like, you know, 5 episodes following that and then stopped. Or maybe again, I sort of like caught like watching like maybe the 2nd or 3rd episode. And again, maybe I didn't finish watching, or maybe we all together, like I stayed up with them and watched through 6 of them, and then I didn't stay up for the last 3, and then they went off and watched them on their own, and I never finished. I really have no clue. All I remember distinctively is watching the very first episode with everybody. And then after that, like I said, I don't remember what happened. And so maybe that was sort of why. And then I never, like I said, watched the 3rd season when it came out. Like I said, I think that was 2 years ago. So, and I remember too, I think it came out near Halloween. It was sometime maybe in the fall. I think that is the case too, because there is sort of like a Halloween scene in the second season. And so I think that honestly that was it, because I remember earlier that day I ended up, I don't know why I can remember this so very vividly. I ended up making sugar cookies, and they were little like cutouts of different fall things. Like, I think I made pumpkins and like little owls or something like that. I don't know why I can remember this part so well, and I couldn't remember the story. Like, and so like I said, I just remember bits and pieces of it that like stood out to me, but I don't remember the actual story. And I think that's because it didn't, like, I didn't wrap it up because I never finished watching the whole thing. So it was sort of just like a cliffhanger, and I forgot sort of, like I said, what was going on or what happened or whatever. So yeah, I don't know, that is really weird. But like I said, I remember that it was fall around that time, like sometime I think in October, when that 2nd season came out. And I want to say that was probably like 2019, maybe 2018, something like that. I really want to say it was probably actually I think Jack was in high school though. So maybe it was, I don't know, honestly, guys. I'd have to go and check that. But anyways, so, yeah, like I said, I've been finishing that up today, sort of. And I actually only watched 2 or 3 episodes, I think, today. I watched 1 earlier in the day, then I just watched 2 right now, and now I'm going to take a shower because I really just want to finish, like, the whole thing as of right now. But it's funny because there's some events that, like, I sort of, like, I don't know, it's weird. I never saw, like I said, those last 3 episodes, but maybe I just heard spoilers too about like what happened, and maybe that's why. But like, there's parts to it that like I knew certain things happened to certain characters, and certain stuff ends up going on, and like between other certain characters. And like I said, I feel like maybe then I read a spoiler or something like that, because I know I didn't see the episodes, but like for some reason, or maybe my mind was just like, oh, like, you know, filling in the blanks sort of thing, like as to like what was going to happen or what was happening or something like that. Or maybe it was just how I wanted it to end. So my brain was just sort of wrapping everything up for me. But I don't know, it was really weird. And then stuff like that sort of ended up happening where it was very similar to what I thought had happened anyway. But I know I didn't see anything past, like I said, those last 3 episodes, which is weird because like I said, I could have sworn I was like, oh, I just didn't see the last one. I guess I didn't see the last 3. So that's why, like, Jack was saying something, and I think that he like didn't realize that like I hadn't seen the last 3 episodes. I saw the last one. Like I told him that I didn't see the very final episode, and so he like started saying something, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he's like, maybe you didn't see like as far as you thought, or like something like that. And I was like, no, I know I did. And then today I was like, I clearly did not, because again, I guess the last episode that I watched was like this 6th or 7th or something like that. Anyways, so yeah, but I had a productive day, like I said, and was still even able to just like, I don't know, do some lazy stuff today too, which I guess was pretty good. Also too, we went around and I checked, it seems like for the most part, whatever was digging in there, in the garden bed, like I was telling you guys yesterday, wasn't digging as bad. But there was still a little hole, and I was sort of almost wondering, I was like, was this just the same hole from yesterday and I didn't cover it up well enough? But it wasn't. It looked like it was a new one. So I sprinkled some more like lemon juice out there, because I'm thinking like it definitely avoided the lemon that was out there. So I do sort of think that it was a skunk, because apparently they don't like citrus smells. So I just squeezed like the juice from like the lemon wedges that I had left over from the shrimp scampi yesterday. I just squeezed those around in the spot where it seems like it's digging, which seems to be near our tomato, or yeah, the tomato plants, and then also too near our like the dill, and or not, did we plant dill? The basil plant that we have parsley and chives, but then we have little seeds that are coming up, and I noticed a couple holes like in there too, and I was telling you guys too, they're like kind of like decent size, like maybe about that size hole, but the one we found yesterday was a big hole, and then the other one, like I said, the bigger one that we found today in the similar spot was sort of big too. So I'm thinking that, like I said, it's looking for bugs or something like that in there, but again, it's not like we have any like big, like, you know, like grubs or anything like that that are like growing in there, because we just tilled it all up and we didn't find anything, like I said, like in the dirt or the soil that we were, like I said, digging up. Whereas versus in the backyard, because we normally don't put like any like type of like weed, you know, like or bug, you know, killer grass stuff, you know, in the ground, because of the dogs back there. I have on occasion found a grub or two in the backyard, but I've never seen any in the front yard, which is pretty much where our garden bed is. So again, like, I don't know what it is looking for or what it's trying to get. Again, like I was telling you guys too, I heard that really loud like cricket sort of chirping noise, and for the longest time yesterday I kept going to the kitchen window. I kept thinking it was a bird, and then I realized like, no, it's not, because I keep hearing it, and then I like realized like it was a cricket sound more than like a bird sound. And so I'm wondering if like, again, it was some type of like cricket or something like that that it was looking for, or maybe like if there's like ground crickets, I don't really know, that again it was like going after, maybe because it heard the sound, that's why it was going after it. But I didn't notice the sound today, so I'm almost wondering if, like I said, it's maybe not there anymore, and maybe it got whatever bug it was, and maybe it'll stay away now. But I did try to, like I said, squeeze a little bit of lemon juice out around the spots where it's been digging, which is weird because it really only seems like it's in like 2 garden beds, which again makes me sort of think that it is some type of bug, because it's not going like around in all of the different beds looking for whatever it is. So I'm hoping that whatever it was, it found, and it will leave the rest of the plants alone. But I'm gonna keep going out there like every day and double checking to see if it's leaving it alone. But it's weird that it's happened now. Well, we saw it at least once. We saw like little sized holes, and I was sort of like, oh, that's weird, like a squirrel or whatever. But then, like I said, yesterday when I saw this big one, I was a little bit more concerned. And then again, the same sort of thing today, like it's coming back consistently. So now that makes me a little bit more nervous. Like, you know, I'm also concerned like if there are some type of like insect that's in there, if it will wind up doing damage to any of the plants. Which again, if I wasn't so concerned about there being seeds in there and it going after like the roots of the plant or something like that, I'd be like, hey, go for it, you know. Like if you're going to keep the bugs out of there that are possibly harmful to the plants, like that's fine. But because like I said, the plants are so delicate right now because they're so little, I'm not fond of whatever that is that's trying to dig around in there. So again, if it doesn't stop, it doesn't go away, then I might have to take a little bit more maybe drastic measures. I was almost thinking about setting the GoPro up and just seeing if it winds up catching anything, because that would be pretty cool. But we don't have any light on that side of the house, which is maybe one of the problems. But because of that, I don't know if you'd even be able to see anything, but I do sort of want to know what it is. Like, we also have had a possum. We caught a possum actually when we were trying to catch, I think, a raccoon. There was something that was living under our deck years and years ago, and we covered our deck over so nothing can get under there anymore. But so my mom like went through like the wildlife center or whatever and set up a trap in the yard, and we found out that there was a possum, but that wasn't the thing that was living under our deck. It was just a random possum that we caught. So that could also possibly be what it is, but I think that they might eat bugs as well. So again, that could be what it is. But like I was thinking too, I was like, it can't be a cat, because a cat would probably be going after like the plants. Like a cat wouldn't be digging, and definitely not the way that I saw like the soil being like thrown. Like it was like digging, like sort of like almost like a dog, but it was way too small of a hole to be a dog's hole, because I have very small little dogs, almost, you know, like the smallest size that they make. And so they dig holes still bigger than that. Like this is something that was finely digging, but again, it still looked way bigger than like what a squirrel hole would be. So it wasn't like it was looking for like a nut. And the same thing too is that like it's come back multiple times, and it's been happening at night, and as far as I know, squirrels aren't really nocturnal. I would see them during the day in the vegetable garden bed. And so like I said, I'm thinking that like skunk, possum. I'm not really thinking raccoon, because like I was telling you guys, a raccoon wants something, they're gonna go in the trash instead of digging through the vegetable garden. Like, and on top of that too, the holes almost look too small to be raccoon, and I don't even know if they like anything like that. Like, you know, I think maybe they'd eat bugs, but I think they're more of like the scavenging, you know, like looking for like our garbage sort of stuff, not really like bugs. So like I said, I'm thinking that it's like possibly one of those two, but skunk to me seems like the strongest culprit, because I've seen them before. Dogs have gotten sprayed, all that kind of stuff. So that's, like I said, what I'm really like thinking that it is. So like I said, you know, hopefully if it was like some weird cricket thing and it was digging around in there, because I didn't hear that anymore today. So if it was and it's gone, hopefully that means it's not coming back. But like I said, I don't know. Again, we might have to then go to something drastic like a motion sensor light or something like that to keep whatever it is away. And hopefully it's going to be affected by that. Like, I'd hate to spend like, you know, a chunk of change on getting motion sensor lights, and then it's not something that's, again, being scared off by that or whatever. So I don't know, we'll have to see. But either way, I will talk to you guys in tomorrow's vlog. I will not have a haul for you guys tomorrow, because I kept thinking that, like I said, today was already Wednesday and tomorrow was going to be Thursday. Of getting everything done so early and taking care of, like I said, all that stuff, and been so productive that I'm like, this, I couldn't have gotten that much done in 2 days. Like, it's to have been 3 days. But I think it's because I've been waking up early. So that's why I want to get in the shower as quick as possible so I can still watch one more episode before I go to bed. But I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.